As you can see, this video is very interesting, and all I want you to do for me is very simple. Just take your time and then drop your religious bias, your spirituality, and your emotions. Keep them in one bag, that when we are through with this video, you can pick them up and wear them and go wherever you want to go. Now I want you to go right now and pick your thinking cap, as Edward de Bono, the father of creativity, will say. Wear your thinking cap. Let's do some critical analysis with pure logics based on what these guys are saying. Let's know who actually amongst them is really intelligent and speaking to us from a standpoint of critical analysis, not by emotion or by one's own default mentality of what the system should look like. Let's listen first.
Is it not a shame? People say they don't want you. You spend money to impose yourself on them. Is that not a shame? They say they don't want you. They don't need you. And yet you want to bribe people, compromise election to be in power. Is that not a shame? That you are rejected and yet you are imposing yourself. And as I speak now, let nobody be quiet anymore. Evil shall not rule our land. Evil, the same set of people who rule the land, misrule the land.
No African leader is corrupt. They are corrupt. The pyramid, which part is larger, the bottom or the top?
The bottom.
Okay, the bottom. So you have 130 million Nigerians. You pick just few and put them at the top.
Oh, we didn't pick them.
Hold on. However they got to the top. The reason you're talking about them is because of where they are only mirroring what is going on here. Because you pick them from among you. No way if I toss a coin from 1960, it will keep falling on the head. Every single country in Africa says they pick a wrong leader every 4 years. It's impossible, Eileen.
But at the same time, there's a lot of corruption.
There is no corruption. I explained it to the first group. No African leader is corrupt.
Okay, as you can see from their different perspective, one is angry, saying that the president actually is referring to my own president of Nigeria, that he bought his seat, or whatever language he's actually using. The whole idea is that the man forced himself into the office. But there's something I've been saying before I listened to the other guy. That is that we are the subtotal of every person we find in the position of power in our country. You are not better off than the people you think you're better off than. The difference is that where you are seated, you are not given the opportunity to exercise your own dominance, maybe criminal or corruption dominance. Where you are, it can be contained. Some of you do take bribe of 1,000 naira, 5,000 naira. To you, that is very small. So you don't even regard that as a bribe, because what you think should be bribed is when somebody takes $2 billion. Now, the difference between the two is where you are performing from. If we take you right now from where you are seated and make you the president or the governor, and such money comes into the treasury account, and you have the flexibility to perform your criminality or corrupt on by looting out the wealth, you're probably going to do it if you did it with 1,000 naira. If you did it with 2,000, 5,000 naira. That is just the pure reality out there. And what I'm saying is that if we think that these guys are not doing the right thing in the meantime, what we should do first is, let's ask ourselves, for how long have we been complaining? We've been complaining for the last 60 years or so, and nothing has changed. So what does that say? It says that we're just making noise. The best approach right now is to shatter down the system, the value system that each and every one of us have. What you do, go back to the teenagers, to the kids, and start educating them, and start nurturing them, and start giving them the new ideology of how the society should be governed, instead of pouring all your attention in what has happened. Because believe it or not, when he said they bought their seat, it simply means that the citizens were the one that sold it to them. In other words, the citizens were even far more corrupt than they themselves. Otherwise, they shouldn't have taken the money from them. You don't think about this thing from this perspective, because when you are taught, you say, but there's hunger in the land. My dear, with a good, right moral value, no matter the hunger, you can't sell such thing. So the whole idea is that we are not different from the people we think we are different at all. The president, the governor, the senate, all of them, we are all the same. Okay, let me ask you. We have colossal number of our people doing Yahoo these days. In the next 30 years, 20 years, there will be the guys in their 50s and 60s who are going to be acquiring all the seats in government. What do you think they're going to do? Do you think they're going to do better than the ones you are critiquing now? Obviously not. They are going to do worse with what they are doing today. So the whole ideology is that the system is already corrupt, and it is not a single individual issue. It's a holistic issue in the system that has to do with you, me, and the rest of us. Every one of us are part and parcel of the people who are contributing to the pool of what is dragging the society back. And if we don't tell ourselves the truth and begin to rise up and say, I will stand for this truth, it's not going to change. I read a story sometimes ago. I can't recall exactly which Nigerian citizen was that, but this guy was very eloquent. He was actually critiquing the government at that time that they are not doing the right thing. And then the president in that particular time just had to call him and appointed him a certain position. He did work for some months and resigned because he couldn't handle it. He thought that it is rise. I tell people leadership is not rise. Where you understand what it means to be a leader is if you are married. You see how you are able to manage your wife and 2 kids. You understand that leadership, managing 200, 300 million people, your head will probably blow off. I'm not here to defend the people in the government. I'm telling you that every single one of them is performing based on their level of knowing. And we have to just take it like that. Do you want a better performance? Go and arm the kids coming behind us with the right knowledge, right value system on how to govern themselves. When they rise to that particular position, they are going to do it very easily because it's something they have been programmed for a very long time to do. If you take you and I to be a president of this nation, probably we're going to do worse. It's not because we are bad people. Being good is not a strategy. Being like I'm a sincere human being, if I get there, sincerity does not produce strategy to build a system. It is like wisdom, understanding, knowledge that does all of this thing. So the other guy says there is no corrupt leader in Africa. That sounds crazy, right? But that's the truth. What you're saying when you say this particular president or this particular senator is a corrupt person, what you're saying is every one of us are corrupt. I tell people that all of us came from the same homes. We came from the same school system. So we have the same ideology. The difference is that we are not seated in the position where they are seated. We can, before you can think this way I'm thinking and the way this man is thinking, you have to first of all format what you have in your head, remove what you have in your head, and then download a new software that will help you to see the world from an elevated view, like an ego. You can be able to see the whole world and the entire political system of your society holistically, not just linear. Because the way you see things is, this is said by my pastor, man, is a man of God. That's crazy. He himself is perpetrating the same ignorance that he should be fighting. Now, for instance, how many pastors in this country, how many imams in this country do you see that behaves like Martin Luther King Jr. and behave like Malcolm X? They were the people who fought for the black freedom in America tirelessly. In fact, they gave up their life. Both of them gave up their life in that fight, in that struggle. They weren't politicians. They were just citizens, not just citizens, but one is a pastor, one is imam. It's a very good example in the country you are living in. So let us begin to ask ourselves, what do we really need to do individually to start impacting our society the right way? Don't wait until you become a president. You have a church that you have maybe 100,000 whatever they call it, seats or whatever they call it. Now you go to your village. How ultramodern is the school? It is the initiative that the young people who go to school, they are creating things that is building society. In prayer don't build society. I'm sorry to say this. It's only in this country that every year they say, let's pray for Nigeria. Come on now. God is always like this, watching us say, these people are crazy. You can't pray to build this nation. I've already given you the brain. Go do it. What you need to do, invest in the wrong kids, invest in the right resources for education, and then you build the country. Nobody will be complaining. Give the kids the right capacity to think, and everything will change. So, I don't know where you are going to stand. Are you standing with the man of God? Are you standing with the other guy who is just like a political analyst, or what? But for me, I stand with the guy. I'm not standing with the man of God. I've heard that a lot of time. I'm not saying there isn't error in the society. I know where the politicians are getting it wrong. I know where the leaders are getting it wrong. What I'm saying is that we have been doing this for the past 6 decades. That's 60 years. If you're a 60 years old kid, you should be a man. You should be a grandfather. But we are not thinking in that direction. Everybody, government. So most of us, we go to spend our lifetime in watching TVs, watching Telemundo, and all of this. When they ask you, you say the government is not, you're not sound mentally.